Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a fan of Final Fantasy XIV like I am, yes, I still actively play the game, you would know that this is probably the most ridiculous thing you're going to hear about all week. Apparently, the vocalist for the theme song of Final Fantasy XIV, yes, that legendary song Answers, if you guys know that song at the end of 1.0 that played when Bahamut came down and all that good, it was just amazing, that music, and she's also made other songs for the game as well. Apparently, this vocalist is being canceled for liking conservatives' tweets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in 2023, we still have some random libtards on Twitter, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it, that are trying to cancel people for liking people that disagree with them. Yes, this is where we're at in today's modern world, and I'm going to be highly upset if the cancellation came from Square Enix, but I highly doubt that. So let's get into this article, guys, from Bounding Into Comics. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. So the headline from Bounding says Final Fantasy XIV theme song vocalist Susan Calloway removed from Kupocon guest list over her liking of conservative tweets. In the latest example of those who claim to oppose gatekeeping rushing to exclude anyone who disagrees with them, it has been announced that thanks to a backlash against her liking of tweets which criticize various tenets of modern-day progressivism, a prominent Final Fantasy XIV vocalist Susan Calloway will no longer be making a previously scheduled appearance at the upcoming Kupocon Fan Expo. Now, if you guys notice, it's always these freaking expos, right? Like every single company that's in charge of these expos, they are all massively liberal. I can't remember the last one that could be anywhere close to being considered not liberal, but they're all pretty much massively liberal to the point where they will cancel you if they even get a slight wind of you doing anything that is not deemed liberal enough. It is ridiculous, and she is not the first to experience this, and I guarantee you she will not be the last. Calloway, whose voice brings to life the respective Answers, Dragon Song, and Revolution's theme songs of the popular MMO's base game and its Heavensward and Stormblood expansions, first drew the ire of some Final Fantasy XIV fans on October 30th when Twitter user Stardiver invited the public to go take a look at Susan Calloway's recent likes and replies. You must be so bored. You must be so bored if you're stalking people's likes and replies on X. Like, you have to be literally, there's nothing in your life going on whatsoever. I mean, this is why you just can't care about this stuff. You cannot care about what other people think about you, because the moment you do, you give them the power to cancel you. It is really ridiculous. It says, per some highlights of the former category shared by Stardiver, the vocalist likes included tweets in which real Andy Freitas shared a Turning Point USA image reading, "Here's an idea. A reality show where socialist college students are sent to a country that closely resembles their desired political system and are left to survive for a few months." Pat McGinnis opined that the reason why peace has not been achieved in the Middle East is because of Islam. Riley Gaines called out how in the name of inclusivity and feminism, males are brutally beating up on women and being awarded for it in women's only martial arts tournaments, and Genevieve Gluck lamented how Japan's longest-running Grape Crisis Center has been declared ineligible to receive public funding following statements made by the facility's director, which were deemed by government officials to be discriminatory against males who identify as transgender. So these are all basically, I wouldn't really call them right-wing ideals. They're just basically not liberal. You know, there's a lot of centrists that believe in a lot of the stuff that this person liked on Twitter. But the problem is, why would this even be an issue? I don't understand. The whole like feature there is to be used by people who agree with whatever they're looking at, right? So just because it's something you disagree with, why is this now a cancelable offense? I don't understand this. This is just something where they're trying to gain power over someone. They're trying to beat them into submission, essentially, by making them scared for their own, you know, professional life that, oh, if you don't agree with everything we say, or if you don't not like this stuff, then we are essentially going to cancel you and try to take away your own personal livelihood because we're that pathetic. We are that literally pathetic that we cannot do anything with our lives other than make other people miserable. That's what we contribute to society. We make everybody else miserable by not agreeing with us. It says, like clockwork, after her social media activity was brought to light, Calloway was met with a wave of backlash from a large number of Final Fantasy XIV players, many of whom had near immediately begun to call for the singer's removal for her upcoming appearances as both a guest at Kupocon and as a performer for Distant Worlds, the currently ongoing Final Fantasy Orchestral Concert Tour. Now, I do believe that there was a massive wave of backlash from Final Fantasy XIV players. Most of them okay, for you guys who play the game, most of them are going to be on roleplay servers. I guarantee you that most of the liberals that play Final Fantasy XIV, most of the psychopath liberals are on roleplay servers because that's where they usually go, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you that. But yes, this is the problem. You have literal players of Final Fantasy XIV who are actively not playing the game, it seems like, because they're so worried over the political likes and retweets of a singer from their game, and they're actively trying to get her canceled. This is really pathetic. This is more pathetic than the people at Kupocon canceling her. The own players of the game are trying to cancel her strictly because they found out something that they want to get offended by. It really is ridiculous. Like, how is this actively affecting any of those players? It's not. Because think about this for a second. All of them were playing the game perfectly fine, not trying to cancel Susan when they were not aware of what she was liking and retweeting. The moment they found out, they want to act like their lives are ruined. But I guarantee you, they don't really care. Aside from that one or two X tweets that they put out, they went about their day like nothing happened. They went and logged onto the game like nothing happened. And they probably have her song playing in their house right now like nothing happened. I guarantee you. Eventually becoming aware of the outrage building against her, Calloway took to her since deleted personal Twitter account later that same day to address the situation, telling fans and critics, guys, it appears my account was hacked. Ah, come on, Susan. That is such a bullshit take. Everybody, come on, bro. That oh man, this thing really upsets me because your account was not hacked. Your account was not hacked, bro. Come on, like you like those tweets. You like them. Just take it. You like those tweets. It is what it is, man. Like, why are you trying to bend the knee to the mob? The moment you try to bend the knee to the mob, they're going to eat you for the rest of your life. Literally, they're trying to destroy you now. You think they're going to stop? They're not going to stop. They're actively going to continue to try to destroy your life because that's what they do. There's no reason for you to try to bend the knee to them because it's not going to fix anything. All that's going to do is that in the future in your life, if you do anything that they disagree with, that's it. Your life is going to be ruined even more. They're going to have full power over you for the rest of your life if you try to bend the knee like this. So I highly suggest you don't do that, but we all know she's going to because she's fearing for her professional life, which for all intents and purposes is pretty much ruined at this point. It says, I haven't been on Twitter that much as I've been working quite a bit. I love you all dearly and am firmly against a hate of any kind. What is going on in our world grieves me. I pray for peace for all that would choose love over hate. Yeah, typical freaking response. However, Calloway's critics were not so quick to accept her explanation as expected, authoring one of the most widely circulated tweets regarding this rejection of Calloway's response. Abyssals asserted, I'm sorry for being cynical, but I can't just assume Susan Calloway has been hacked if she liked tweets like this since the beginning of the year. That's what I'm saying. She was not hacked, bro. Like, I don't agree with Susan. Honestly, Susan, if that's what you're going to do, you're going to say that you were hacked to try. That's the worst excuse. You're going to say that you were hacked and that's why you liked conservative tweets or whatever the case may be. You deserve everything that's coming to you, honestly, because you don't have a backbone, which is fine. I get it. Not everybody's going to have a backbone, but really, like, you think people are going to buy that story? Come on. In support of their skepticism, Abyssal shared another round of tweets supposedly liked by Calloway. This said, including tweets wherein John Harkinson called the sexual transitioning of children sick, evil, and disgusting as child molestation. Save the Two Strokes shared a meme which reads, you know the brainwashing is real when white people start protesting white people for being white. And Ken Nigma observed everything the woke people do is backwards. And it would be out of the defense of such fans that the aforementioned Kupocon will ultimately choose to disinvite Calloway from their upcoming event. Well, Kupocon is retarded for doing that then. Kupocon, like every other con that does this, is ridiculous. They know exactly what they're doing. They're all led by liberals, psycho-liberals, and that's just something that we have to understand because unless we have people that are on the opposite side or somewhere in the middle make their own cons, it's never going to be anything other than that. Today has been a troubling day for Final Fantasy community, wrote a representative for the convention on its official account. In light of recent events, we announced that Susan Calloway will no longer be attending our upcoming event in Toronto. We will do our utmost to secure another guest in time for Palm East, but it may be difficult due to the time and constraints. I hope Kupocon completely fails because of this. How are you going to disinvite the one person who leads 3 of the main songs that everybody loves in Final Fantasy XIV? Like that literally just nukes most of your Final Fantasy XIV musical content by removing Susan Calloway. You realize that, right? It doesn't give you a lot to play with. Now, I know, I believe Kupocon is just a Final Fantasy con in general, but still, your Final Fantasy XIV segment is going to take a big hit by removing Susan Calloway. That's ridiculous. Like, you're literally choosing not to make money because a couple people pretending to be angry on X. This is where we're at in today's modern world. So it says, we urge the Kupocon community to prioritize kindness during this difficult time. Kupocon added, we appreciate your understanding as we continue to thoroughly investigate this matter. matter, you are not investigating shit, okay? Because if you were investigating anything, you would not have disinvited Susan Calloway. You would have just went on with your life and not bend the knee to the mob. But we all know that these psycho liberal fucks are going to do that, and that's where we are in today's modern gaming world. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.